Hello, I'm Gary Corsair.
Cats with 12 Lives is the incredible true story
Of a coach pursuing an impossible dream. The dream every coach chases of being crowned a champion. It's also the heartwarming story of an exceptional group of lifelong friends and pretty good football players who became great when they embraced their coach's dream of winning the Florida High School Football Championship. Yes, an impossible dream, because Wildwood and 250 other small schools were not allowed to participate in the playoffs, no matter how good their win-loss record. Winning the conference title or a postseason bowl game was the best that small schools could achieve. Only big schools could be crowned state champions. That changed in 1964 when Wildwood coach Bird Wiggum requested and received permission for his Class B Wildcats to move into Class A so that they would be eligible to compete for the state title. Obtaining permission to play up a class against the big boys was one thing. Winning enough games to qualify for the playoffs, well, that was another. The Wildcats were the longest of long shots. Wiggum only had 18 players, and only 2 of them weighed more than 200 pounds. Wildwood's best player, Randy Jones, was one of the smallest. No wonder sports writers picked Wildwood to finish 5th in their conference. Those so-called experts failed to consider the heart, dedication, and devotion to each other and their coaches that the Wildcats had. Week after week, Wildwood made believers, and most of the games weren't even close. Qualifying for the playoffs seemed like a cinch, but it wasn't. Wildwood had to schedule 2 games in 1 week to keep its playoff hopes alive. Amazingly, the Wildcats whipped Lyman on Wednesday, then stunned undefeated Eustis 48 hours later. No team has accomplished that feat in the 55 years since. Wildwood, now 10-0, continued its Cinderella season by beating a large Miami area school convincingly in the playoffs. Next up, the Class A state championship game at the University of Florida. The impossible dream was within reach, and then it wasn't. Heavily favored Lake City thoroughly dominated the Underdog Wildcats. That is, until this daring third-quarter pass from Hamp Johnson to Danny Jones on a 3rd and 1 broke a scoreless deadlock and shifted the momentum Wildwood's way. The rejuvenated Wildcats held on for a 12-7 victory, the only time in Florida history that a Class B school won a Class A football championship. How the 1964 Wildcats reached the state championship game is the greatest underdog story I've come across in more than 40 years of covering sports. Yes, Cats with 12 Lives will inspire and uplift readers of all ages and backgrounds. Your pledge will bring about long overdue recognition for this very special team.